of American athletes going into trials, and you made a list of people who could contend for medals in Tokyo, and then you make another list of people who were gold medal favorites in Tokyo, you'd say pretty much everybody got through on the potential medalist front. And amongst the gold medal threats, I think only one didn't, and that would be Donavan Brazier. Now, we saw afterwards, he was in a walking boot, he was in crutches, clearly was not 100%. But the mantra always for the Olympic trials is third is as good as first, survive in advance, move on, just figure out a way to get to Tokyo and then figure it out later. But the person who suffered the most from trials being what they were, I think was Brazier, because the guy comes in, American record holder, hadn't lost to an American in a final since the 2016 trials, big favorite, not just in this meet, but in Tokyo, and is not able to advance. Of course, I think he's going to be back. He was really confident moving forward that he was going to make it, but everybody had him penciled in as being on the team. He was in advertisements being on the team, and for good reason. As I mentioned before, American record holder, blew everybody out in Doha and looked to be on his way to another successful season, and it didn't happen. And can you think of anybody else, Gordon, who was a gold medal candidate who didn't get out of Eugene?
Gold medal candidate? I mean, not really. I can't really think of anyone who didn't make it that we put gold. There are people who probably could have medaled, but yeah, gold. Donovan was the only one that was gold, I think, that didn't make it.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you could argue, like, a Justin Gatlin could have found a way to medal in a final because of his experience. You could argue someone in like the 400 might have been able to medal that didn't make it through. Mm-hmm. But overall, yeah, all the gold favorites are going, which is good. That's what you want, right? You talk about, is it a fair? You want to make sure your gold medalists are going representing, and we got everyone except for one. So that's a good thing at least.
Yeah, and credit again to Brazier afterwards, answered all the questions, took the responsibility, said, if you're at that level, you got to figure out a way to get it done. And I wasn't good enough, but I know I'm going to be back. And I'm sure he's as hard on himself as anybody else would be. There's a bunch of people, yeah, okay, I had that person maybe even winning trials or getting third, but nobody was in the position that Brazier was going into Tokyo. And if you hadn't had a chance to check out his interview, you should watch it. I think it's a pretty good look into his mindset after such a disappointing performance. And again, give a bunch of credit to him just for opening up about what was going on with him. And it wasn't until afterwards when we saw on Craig Engel's Instagram posts of Brazier with the crutches and the walking boot. So clearly there was an injury there. Just unfortunate timing for him in his build up to the Olympics. But he doesn't have to wait long. There's another major championship next year. All right. Do you want to talk about either positive or negative, winner or loser here next? Or do you want me to keep going?
You keep going. I do have some breaking news, but you can keep going.
Okay, is this real breaking news?
It is, but you don't like it when I zigzag out of our run a show, so I'll save it for the end.
Okay. Well, if it's breaking, it needs. Okay. Now I'm going to spend the rest of the show wondering what it is.
You got the email.
An email.
It's in your email. So.
Which email? There's no.
Your main email. Yeah. It's not really that breaking. It's just it's subtle. It's not that big.
Okay.
Okay.
Anyway,
we'll talk about. We'll